They call it the green hell, and for a very, very good reason. See, you probably think you know the Amazon, toucans, lazy rivers, maybe a snake or two, but the reality? It's a graveyard. A graveyard of explorers, of lost civilizations, and of things that just completely defy the known laws of science. So today, we're not just looking at the map. Oh no, we are walking right off the edge of it, straight into the green hull itself. First, you've got to wrap your head around the sheer scale of this place. We're talking 2.1 million square miles of raw, untamed nature. I mean, you could basically fit the entire continental United States inside of it and still have room to spare. And yet, for all our satellites and our fancy drones, a huge majority of it is a complete and total mystery. We have almost no idea what's actually living and breathing down there on the forest floor. And this quote just nails it. The Amazon isn't some passive landscape waiting to be discovered. It's an active, you could almost say hostile entity. It's a place so vast, so incredibly dense, that it doesn't just hide things that get lost. It consumes them. It swallows them whole, leaving absolutely no trace behind. So in this explainer, we are going deep, deep into that terrifying reality. We're going to peel back those layers of jungle canopy to look at the unsolved, the untold, and the frankly unsettling mysteries of the Amazon rainforest. And listen, whatever you do, do not go anywhere, because a little later on, I'm going to share a discovery with you that completely flips our entire understanding of this place on its head. It suggests the Amazon isn't a natural wilderness at all, but a massive engineered landscape. A garden left behind by a civilization that really shouldn't exist. You are not going to want to miss that. But first things first, we have to talk about the man whose obsession really kicked this all off. The man who walked into that jungle and just, well, never walked out. His name was Percy Fawcett. So let's just break down the cold, hard facts. In 1925, Colonel Percy Fawcett, this guy was a seasoned explorer, the real-life person Indiana Jones was based on. He got in his head that a lost city he called Z was hidden deep in the jungle. He took his son and his son's best friend in with him. His last message to his wife was brimming with confidence. You have no fear of any failure. And then, nothing. Silence. They just evaporated. But the darkest part, that came next. Over the decades that followed, more than 100 people went in looking for him. And guess what? Many of them disappeared too. Now, some people say they were killed by uncontacted tribes. Others say they starved. But the local people who live there, they tell a very different story. They talk about something called the Green Curtain, a kind of invisible barrier you can walk through where the normal rules of reality, of time and direction, just stop working. So, did Fawcett find his city, or did he accidentally stumble right through that curtain? But the mysteries here go way beyond just missing people. The Amazon is home to phenomena that seem to defy geology itself. The jungle isn't just hiding human secrets, it's hiding things that, scientifically speaking, shouldn't even be possible. Okay, we all know how rivers work, right? Snow melts up in the mountains, the water flows downhill, it's cold. It's simple. Well, deep in the Peruvian Amazon, there's a river called the Shanay Timpishka, and it breaks every single one of those rules. And I don't just mean it's kind of warm. No. I mean it is literally boiling at nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You fall in, you are cooked. And the biggest mystery? It's 400 miles from the nearest active volcano. It just shouldn't exist. So the huge scientific question is, where is all that impossible heat coming from? Well, the leading theory is that water is being forced miles deep into the Earth's crust along a massive fault line. It gets superheated by the planet's core and then shot right back up to the surface. It's a thermal anomaly that has geologists just scratching their heads. But then you have the indigenous explanation. They say the river is heated by the breath of a giant serpent spirit called the Yaku Mama, the mother of waters. And I'll tell you what, when you're standing on those banks, surrounded by steam so thick you can't see your hand in front of your face, that giant snake theory starts to feel a whole lot more plausible. And speaking of giant creatures, let's talk about what's actually hiding out there in the dark. For centuries, people deep in the western Amazon have reported seeing something that sounds like it walked right out of a prehistoric textbook. They call it the Mapinguari. And the descriptions are incredibly consistent, even across tribes that have never met. A 7-foot-tall beast that stands on its hind legs, with claws so long they snap trees, a smell so bad it can knock you out, a roar that sounds like thunder mixed with a human scream. Oh, and skin that's tough enough to deflect bullets. Now here's the kicker. Scientists don't just laugh this off. There's a real theory that the Mapinguari could be a surviving population of the Megatherium, the giant ground sloth, which was supposed to have gone extinct 10,000 years ago. I mean, think about it. In a forest so thick that sunlight barely ever touches the ground, is it really that impossible that a few of these giants managed to survive? But it's not just creatures from the ancient past that haunt the Amazon. Sometimes the threat seems to come from the sky. Forget Roswell, the single most compelling, officially documented government investigation into UFOs actually happened in the Amazon. It was called Operation Plato. And this isn't some campfire story. This is actual military history. Back in 1977, in a town called Caleres, people weren't just reporting strange lights in the sky. They were reporting attacks. Glowing objects were descending and shooting beams of light that would paralyze them and leave them incredibly weak, as if their blood had been drained. They called it the Chupa Chupa, which literally means the sucker sucker. Things got so bad the Brazilian Air Force sent in a team, led by a Captain Urenge Holanda. Now, they went in as total skeptics, but came out with photos and film of objects the size of football fields. Years later, Holanda broke his silence, talking about non-human beings. Shortly after that interview, he was found dead. The official story was suicide. The files, they remain classified to this very day. And all of this brings me back to what I promised you at the start, the biggest twist of them all. The one idea that might just connect all these strange threads, and it starts by going right back to our vanished explorer. What if Percy Fawcett, the man who vanished into the jungle looking for his lost city of Z, what if he wasn't chasing some fantasy? What if he was actually right? Because, as it turns out, modern technology is starting to prove that he was. The key to all this is a technology called LiDAR. It's basically this laser scanning system you can mount on a plane, and it allows researchers to, for the first time, see right through that dense forest canopy and map the ground underneath with incredible precision. And when they did this, they found something that also solves another huge mystery: Terra Preta, or Black Earth. For years, people have found these strange patches of impossibly fertile, pitch-black soil in the Amazon. Well, it turns out it's not natural at all. It's an artificial supersoil, a mix of charcoal, bone, and pottery that was engineered thousands of years ago. And the craziest part? It actually regenerates itself. We can't even do that today. So here's the revelation. Using LiDAR, researchers found massive geometric earthworks, perfect squares, circles, entire road networks hidden under the jungle, all built on this special Terra Preta soil. This proves the Amazon wasn't some counterfeit paradise that couldn't support big populations. It was home to a massive civilization of millions who literally terraformed the land. The Amazon isn't a wilderness, it's a garden that went wild. It is the overgrown graveyard of a lost empire. But here's the thing. The Amazon isn't just about the past. Its greatest mysteries might still be alive and breathing right now in the present day. Think about this number for a second. There are officially over 100 uncontacted tribes still living in the Amazon. These are people who have no concept of our world whatsoever. We only get these tiny glimpses, like the story of the Man of the Hole, the very last member of his tribe who lived completely alone for decades before he died, taking an entire language and an entire culture with him. What do these people know that we don't? You have to believe they know where the Mapinguari sleeps, and they probably know exactly why that river boils. So I have to ask you, if you were offered a ticket tomorrow to join an expedition deep into the Amazon, would you take it? Would you risk the green hell for a chance, just a chance, to see what's really out there? Or are some mysteries better left